Yeah, okay. Now I want to continue to record again my practice because before that the record my microphone is off in the middle of the recording. Yeah, it's okay, and I want to continue again to practicing speaking. And now the topic is the client changed the requirements. Can I ask you something? Sure. Rina, sure. Have you ever finished a feature? Yes. Only to find out that everything had changed. That's a good sign it is. It depends on what, how much change. The client reviewed the feature this morning, okay, and then they like it. That's a good. And what is the problem? Then they ask for a few small changes. That's exactly what I thought. What were the small changes you mean? A different layout, okay, and a new filter, alright, and expect an export button. Anything else? They also wanted a completely different workflow. That's another small changes, brother. This maybe more than small changes. I know it. And how did you react? I smile is very um full. Good reason, good reaction, and inside I was screaming loudly. Please don't laugh. I'm laughing because I've been there. Really. Yeah, more times than I can count. As when I'm also week building that feature. I know it feels like I wasn't my time. Did you? Didn't I? No. Why not? Because you learn how the feature works. The code is changing. Some of the codes, not that, not all of it. Usually not. I hadn't thought about that. Can I ask you something? Sure. Why did the client request the changes? The team tested the feature and then they realized their employees work differently than they expected. Exactly. So they weren't changing their minds for no reason, right? They learned something, just like we do. That's a better way to look at it. So it is often a conversation. What's your mind? What's your mean? We will something, okay, the client tries it, makes sense. And then everyone learns and the product improves. Exactly. I always thought requirements were fixed. Sometimes they are, but not always, especially in real project. What should I do first? Don't start coding immediately. Really? Yeah. The first, you must to understand what the client requirements. Good point. As one question, or maybe have much question is good for you to have the same um, of goals like what? Which ones are the highest priority? Okay, Which parts are optional? Makes sense. Is the deadline still the same? That's important. It is very important. What if we cannot finish everything on time? Then we communicate early. No at the last minute. Definitely not. I like that. Okay, good communication prevents surprises. You know what surprised me today? What? The client thanked us even after asking for changes. Yes, why do you think that was? Maybe because we listened exactly instead of arguing exactly. Okay, I thought being a developer was mostly writing code. Now I think listening is just as important too. I couldn't agree more. Can I ask the last question? Of course. Do requirement changes ever stop? That's not the answer I wanted. No. So, not really. I had a feeling. The goal isn't to avoid change. Then, what's the goal? To adapt without losing your focus. That's the lesson I won't forget. Good. One requirement at a time. Requirement at a time. One revision at a time. Of course, one revision at a time. One conversation at a time. Yeah, one conversation at a time. And one satisfied client at a time. Definitely one satisfaction when satisfied client at a time. And okay, thank you today, day 42. I was done to recording again, and today is represent situation almost every developer was there because the client changed the requirements in the beginning. Might feel so disgusting, but mm, yeah, every way is much developer much to know because the problem is not the what's the time, but is the need to change. Okay, thank you.